Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
Well, you can unmute the mic, but unless it's in front of your mouth, Mr. Mosher, you can't really get any sound out of it. Jeez. Is it Friday yet? It should be Friday. Ron's shaking his head. No, God, no, it's not Friday yet. Happy Thursday, Spoony listeners. Chef Patrick Mosher. Yeah, y'all know who I am, the Food Biz Pro. Welcome to my show. Oh, if you missed it, there was a fantastic show on this morning, just from 9 to 11, so I guess it ended about an hour ago. I guess 2 hours ago here. Dr. Kenneth Brown, gastroenterologist, and Eric Rieger, his partner on the show, his co-host, they had an amazing, I don't even know how to, their guest today was amazing. Okay. I don't want to get his name wrong, so I'm going to, and I didn't have time enough to, I produced the show, but I didn't write his name down, and you know how it is, I'm bad with names already, so we'll just say Mr. Chris. He has this new laser. Well, it's not brand new. The technology is not his, but he has a laser basically that treats inflammation. And you say, well, why is inflammation important? Well, inflammation is the only cause of disease and pain. Illness. That's the only reason you ever feel terrible, basically. At a cellular level, there's inflammation that causes either death, decay, some sort of restriction or blockage, or pain. That's it. Anyway, this laser, I'm not going to go into the details of it, but he started, I think, in the late 80s developing this. It's amazing. I have a friend, I asked something specific. I have a friend in Houston. His name is David. I'm not going to his last name. David is, I think, early 70s, and is kind of a mentor in certain areas for me. And we're off food for just a minute. But he suffers from what's called trigeminal neuralgia. If you don't know what that is, it's the most painful experience to man. The most painful. Again, we're talking about the Gut Check Project. It's on Mondays, 10 to noon, East Coast, 9 to 11 Central. You'd think I'd know. I'm here producing the show, but time zones are not my thing. Anyway, my friend David in Houston suffered or still suffers from trigeminal neuralgia, which is the most painful, the worst pain man can experience. It's called, in French, they call it the suicide disease. And oftentimes, people with this affliction will kill themselves because it's better than suffering through the pain. There is no real treatment for it. And what it is there's basically a spot in the brain, we won't get into too much, but these three nerve trigger points come together. There's a vein, there's vascularity near that. One of those vessels can be swollen or too close to the trigger point, and it actually fires all those nerves. And David described it as this: you get hit, jab an ice pick in your face in the top of the cheek, electrify it, and then somebody came up and hit you in the side of the head with a baseball bat. That's the pain. He used to literally double over and fall to the ground. So he suffered for 60 years with this. He finally had surgery, which is one of the only prescribed treatments, and he had it twice. The first time it worked for a couple of years. They started coming back, and he was having like 5 to 7 episodes a day. So think of this: 5 to 7 episodes from 5 minutes to 30 minutes where you want to die, literally. It worked for a while. They did a second brain surgery, and it caused a stroke. So one side of his face was a little bit weaker than the other. He had gotten most of the motor control back on that side of the body, but it's still. He lost vision in that eye. He lost his hearing, and he couldn't see any color in that eye from the stroke. Anyway, fast forward, they finally put him on medication because he goes to the VA. He's an Army veteran, and all they can prescribe for that is this very, very, very potent pain medication that targets those nerve endings, and it also tends to give you suicidal thoughts. Okay, well, so now you have suicidal tendencies from the medicine, which is supposed to prevent you from wanting to kill yourself because of the pain of the affliction. So anyway, he's taken that for years and years and years. He was still having like up to 3 episodes a day, sometimes 5 on a rare occasion. And it's a heartbreaking story. He came across CBDs, which is what he tried, and it started working. Since he tried them, and this is not a pitch for CBDs, but he tried them, and he found the right product. Once he started taking that daily, he cut his dose of medication in half, and then down to a quarter, and then to 0, and he's never had a single episode since he started taking the CBDs. So I asked, though, because this works in tandem with that by reducing inflammation. And he showed photos that were unbelievable, like a person that had it was a top athlete that had they had a really bad ankle sprain. And within just a few minutes of treatment, the ankle was half the size. It's crazy. Ice was zero effectiveness on the ice, right? And they showed versus all these other treatments, it was by far the most effective. After surgery, they showed after surgery how much it reduced the swelling just post-surgery within hours. Anyway, I asked about this because a lot of light spectrums don't penetrate far enough into the body to be effective. But he said, oh no, they have all sorts of firsthand, not anecdotal, but firsthand data that's showing that this is very effective. So, maybe you're not excited about it, but for endurance athletes. Even the average person who suffers from chronic pain, this is something really cool. I will post the link. Actually, you can go to the show. The live video is just up. It's up. It was right before my show. So if you just scroll down a little bit, if you're on Facebook or you go to Spoony Radio on Facebook, you can see the video. It's an excellent interview. It's probably one of the most powerful interviews I've seen about healing and pain prevention that I've ever heard. Fantastic stuff. So there's a lot of fancy words in there I can't pronounce, but, inflammation is the killer. So if we can control that, then we can control anything. As a matter of fact, Dr. Brown is the one that he's the host of the Gut Check Project. He's the one that developed Atrantil, which basically, look, if you're having digestive issues, eating habits change, maybe you try to go to a more healthy or a healthful diet and you're eating more greens and grains. Maybe it's not setting well with you. Go to lovemytummy.com. Check it out. They can't say it in this country, but in Canada, they make them put down the disease which it's meant to treat because the consumer needs to know. They can't say it in this country, but all those afflictions of the gut that you can think of, that's pretty much what it's there for. lovemytummy.com/Spoony. It'll give you a promo code and a discount. Please support our sponsors. They're wonderful people. It's an amazing show. Tune in Thursdays. It's very insightful. Now, they have a lot of fun. And if you go back a couple of weeks, I was actually the guest for the day. It was a really fun show. Oh, thank you. Someone said about my shirt. Ha, ha, ha. Thank you. Oh, wow. Guess I didn't know my own strength. Ron, okay, you guys, I wish I had a camera Ron, we need a camera facing over there. Okay, there's no.
We don't need a camera facing this way. I was laughing. That was funny.
That was really funny. I haven't seen you laugh that hard. I don't think ever since I spilled my last cup of coffee. Oh wait, you didn't laugh that time. They have this thing. There's a little screen over here. I know if you're listening, you can't see it. If you're watching, you see where I'm pointing. But there's a little screen over here. It's called a vanity monitor, right? It only works if you look at it. Well, I'm so enthralled by
it. Lets you see what we're seeing.
I know, but what's cool is there's movement over here, right? There's a clock that's going this way. There's a countdown clock going that way. There's a count up clock going this way. So I'm literally watching that and enthralled by it, trying to make eye contact with the camera every few minutes anyway. And apparently, oh gosh, it's still unfair. I need to hey, can we just delete that whole first half of the video and just start hey, stop and restart the stream, Ron? No, he's shaking his head. No way in hell is he going to do that. Anyway, hey, happy Thursday, everyone. I have, actually, we got one caller today, possibly two. Hey, Chef Jeff Wetzel, where are you, buddy? You're supposed to give me a fishing report. I can't get a hold of you. If anybody knows him out there, he's probably on the lake. So, Jeff, if you're fishing, call in from the lake. That would be the best way to give a fishing report. If you're actually working well, call in anyway. Take a break, smoke a cigarette, whatever you need to do, give me a call. At the end of the bottom of the second hour today, though, we are going to have a caller, and we're going to talk about some fun stuff. Cody Stortz, he's been the host of the Reckless podcast. He's going to switch things up, change gears, and he's going to change the format a little bit of his podcast. We'll tell you a little bit about that and the company that he's representing now. It's really cool stuff, and man, I can't wait to promote them a little bit with him so I can get some free product. We'll tell you about that in a little bit. All right, food news today. Japan is a very eccentric country in certain ways as far as consumerism. I don't eccentric, like they like quality over quantity. They really do. I had a friend there who, his family had a very small apartment. He invited me over. He loved jazz music. So he used to come to the pub where I worked at night when I was first learning Japanese. I learned to bartend there. And it's called The Bank. Or it used to be. It was in Osaka at Fukushima Station. And he used to come by all the time. He invited me to his house about 100 times. I said, okay, I'll come over and listen to jazz. He had basically his portion of the home was 2 rooms. He had his bedroom and then, which was small. Both rooms together were probably the size of the studio, which is a lot smaller than it looks on camera, probably. Anyway, it's probably 20. It was probably 22 by 12, maybe something like that. 20 by 10. One room was, his personal effects. He had like a standalone closet that, because in Japan you fold your bed up and you put it in the closet. It doesn't stay out in the room. You sleep on a futon on the floor. Anyway, so that was his room. He had a desk, et cetera, a little television. But in the other room, unlike here, we don't have a different suit. A lot of countries, when you live there, you don't have a different suit for every day. You have 3 suits, 4 shirts, 6 pair of slacks, and a partridge in a pear tree. You mix it up every day and nobody cares, right? If you only have 2 or 3 sweaters to get you through winter in Germany, it doesn't matter. You're probably still wealthy. You just don't have the space to store stuff. And plus, why have 9 sweaters in different colors of the same material and style when you can just have 3 and nobody cares, nobody knows the difference except here when you're vain. So anyway, so he had this room, and this room, I'm telling you, it was decked out, floor to ceiling, with the biggest speakers I've ever seen. It was crazy. We sat in there all day and listened to jazz. I thought that was a bit excessive, maybe for the size of the room, considering that it was an apartment complex, an apartment building, I think 40 stories, and very small. You kind of had to squeeze your way into the room, actually, to get to the chairs in the middle. But what he did, that aside, I found something a little more eccentric. And if you don't know, there's a new emperor in Japan. So when one passes, they have a new emperor, and they're celebrating in Tokyo. Oh, actually, I think it's May 1st is when the new emperor is established. But the Grand Hyatt in Tokyo has created a special burger. Okay, it's named the Golden Giant Burger. It's nearly 10 inches in diameter. Okay, well, 10 inches in diameter is not that big. That'd feed a family of 20 Japanese people, two U.S. citizens, 2 fat guys like me. All right. So, John O'Larnick's heading to the dentist. Man, I'm trying to get these guys to call in and show me a little love. But hey, John, that's no problem. I hope you feel better. Okay, so the patty alone is 2.2 pounds. It has even more. Then it has more beef thrown on top, which is kurage wagyu steak. Okay, so it's basically grilled or griddled wagyu, which is the Japanese beef. It's probably akaushi, which is red cattle, and then they have foie gras as well. Okay, if you don't know what that is, it's really rich goose liver. One bite will do you, let me tell you. All right. Then it continues as they put fresh. The whole top is covered in fresh truffles. Okay. I don't know how to describe the taste of truffles. It's not really like a mushroom. It's a very dense, this bulbous thing that grows, this fungi that grows under the ground, fungus. It's very dense, and when you eat them, you can't eat them without shaving them because they're so dense. If you took a bite, you'd be crunching on it for days, right? So they shave them paper thin, but even so, to put truffles on, say, a pasta dish in Japan for one person is like $35. So this has probably got that's probably $100 in truffles in Japan, just the shaved on top. And I'll post a link. If you see this thing, it's crazy. The whole thing, by the time it's done, weighs over 6 pounds. Okay. It has 2 full onions between the buns, sliced, lettuce, cherry tomatoes, and what appears to be nothing. Then they have cheddar cheese. It's probably got to be 8 slices of cheddar cheese on there. And it comes in at 6.6 pounds. Okay. Now, this is intended for sharing between 6 people, so really, it wouldn't be that expensive by Japanese standards. But the total cost comes in at $900 for a hamburger in Japan. $900. That's only $1.50 each. I mean, Go down to your local McDonald's. It's at least $15. It's only 10 times more than that for your portion of I mean, that's crazy. But, I mean, it does look good if it weren't so overly, extravagant, giant, ginormous. It's crazy. And I'm not sure what the purpose is. If you're celebrating the new emperor of Japan, then why are you serving an American dish? Granted, it's Wagyu beef, the steak on top. The truffles are French, or probably from Italy. I don't know. I mean, I thought we were a country of excessive consumption. But when I look, I'm looking everywhere now. And we see it everywhere. I mean, day in, day out. As a matter of fact, I did look back at another store in the U.S. Let me see if I can find that. It's about a hot dog. And it's at, I think it was for opening day at Astros ballpark down in Houston, Minute Maid Park. And $128 for a hot dog. $128. Yes. Dollars, not doll hairs. $128 for a hot dog. Okay, at least the burger had foie gras, and it had truffles, and it had the burger patty. It was 2.2 pounds. And then you had like another pound and a half of meat on top. But I mean, this is just a hot dog, right? But apparently not, because much to my chagrin, as you know, I'm not a big fan of gold flake, edible gold flake, but it has 24 karat gold flakes on it, and at least it doesn't have glitter, right? No glitter, that's good. As one comedian once said, glitter is the herpes of the arts and crafts world. You know, because it gets stuck to you and it never goes away. It sticks to you for a week. Glitter on food is quite possibly the most disgusting thing. But anyway, so this actually comes from one of my favorite places in Houston, B&B Butcher and BB Lemon. B&B Butcher's is a steak, this really great steakhouse that has a butcher shop as well. But it's a $128 hot dog. They rolled it out. It's made of it's a Wagyu hot dog, of course, and it's called the Break the Bank Frank. And then it has A5 Wagyu filet, Maine lobster, sauteed in truffle mustard, beurre blanc, and 24 karat edible gold flakes in a truffle butter toasted bun, and a partridge in a pear tree. I mean, I don't know. Do we really need to? Look, creating all that stuff is fun. I know it's decadent, but man, we kind of tend to go overboard. As a matter of fact, I have some pictures of a hot dog that they have several dogs that they served, or items served on a 2-foot bun at the stadium here in Arlington, where the Rangers play, and they have a 2-foot hot dog that's $28. I think 28 or 31, 35. I don't know. It's expensive. And it's one big, it's literally a 2-foot hot dog. Okay, and what you can't cook that in a pan. You can't to grill it on a grill. They really don't have grills in those kind of fast. It's not really fast food, but it's one of the kiosks that's right around the perimeter. It's not a full sit down restaurant, and so they have. I don't know if you've ever been to a Mongolian barbecue place. It's not really a barbecue because it's a big flat top round. It's a round flat griddle, or grill as we'd say in a restaurant. They put the hot dogs on there and then they slowly roll them around. But that's a 2-foot hot dog, and then all the stuff on the outside, the onions, and it's smothered in chili, which of course they don't put on the grill. But they have a couple of other dogs, and then they do this thing that's all kebabs, right? It's chicken, I think. And so they cook the skewers on that grill, and then they remove the meat from the skewers, and then they smother stuff all over it. $28, $30, something like that. I mean, it's cool, but man, that's a lot of food. The 2-foot hot dog looks like it feeds about 5 or 6. I think, yeah, 5. 5, I think. 5 chunks I got out of there. Yeah. So it's again, it's very cool. I think it's called 24 Dallas, 24 Fort Worth. I don't know, DFW, 24. I'll look up the name, but it's fantastic. It's creative. It's ingenious. What I really like about it is it's a show. The rest of these, they just bring that big badass out and set it on the table, and you overindulge and you go home feeling like crap. With this one, at least you can see it, right? It's very cool. I'll try to get those photos up posted. But if you like a hot dog and you want to go to the ball game, go to the Rangers. Could be fun. You never know. You'll probably end up with heartburn. Please take some friends with you. Don't try to eat it all yourself. Man, I can't even imagine. All right. Other food news today. Oh, do I have that one? So there's a story, and I kind of got lost in the shuffle a little bit. There was a man in Ohio who, for Lent, wasn't giving up. Well, he gave up everything except... Guess, can you? Oh, here you go. You might have seen it. Ohio man drinks only beer for Lent. Okay, I'm not sure that's really giving anything up. He probably chose the favorite thing in the world, and that was it. He's only drinking beer for Lent. Now I'm curious. It's been we're how much longer do we have to do? It's 40 days. A couple of weeks. I guess it's the end of April when Easter is. So. His quote is, it says, Cincinnati man starts beer-only Lenten fast. He says, my pendulum doesn't swing toward moderation. Yeah, well, neither does mine, but at least mine is everything in moderation as frequently as possible. His is nothing in moderation as frequently as possible. Anyway, was this a ploy? It must be. Oh, yeah, it must be. So here it is. Here it is. Del Hall, who's the one that is only drinking beer for Lent, gave up everything else. He's the director of sales at 50 West Brewing Company. He gave up everything but his beer. He plans to spend Lent fasting using beer as his only calorie intake. Well, be careful with that because I guess if you're having water, that's fine. You can rehydrate, but that's not the most healthful combination when you look at the overall calorie breakdown in beer. I don't think there are a lot of carbs, a little bit of protein, no fat. Yeah, it's not really good. No fiber. Man, I can't imagine. How blocked up would you be? How blocked up would you be after 30 days without eating any fiber? Or more than 30 days? That's crazy. Apparently, though, he's not the first to do it. Back in the 1600s, monks used to do that. During the fast, give up all solid food, and only live on their ale. So, look, if they can do it, we can do it, right? Or he can do it. 46 days. 46 days of nothing but beer. 40 days of fasting and 6 Sundays. So what do you do on Sundays? Oh, there you go. Traditionally, Sundays, it's not practiced. I did not know that. Usually people just eat fish on Fridays, but I did not know all these years of Lent. Not like it's a huge celebration, but of giving things up, fasting, intermittent fasting. Sometimes I've fasted for several days at a time. I didn't know that you didn't have to fast on Sundays is not typically practiced. Huh. I did not know that. Who'd have thought it? I guess I learned something to do every day. I think he lost like 21 pounds. I read another story, kind of an update story. And I'm not sure if that's healthy or not. I'm really, I don't know. I wouldn't do it. Well, I might if you paid me or you gave me the free beer. The show would be fun. On day 26, a beer for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's it. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Beer only. Oh, my God. I'd be laying here sleeping, drooling, probably gnawing on my fingernails. I'm a guy that likes to eat. I know you can't see it too much. Well, if I'm in my other chef coat and that camera's facing this way, then you can see it. I don't look I don't like it. I need to zoom in a little bit and just not show the gut at all, or just have a better diet. And on that note, if you want to trade out some of your, less healthful carbohydrates for something better for your body, then go to SpoonyWildRice.com. Nostalgia Wild Rice, they've been in business for about 30 years. If you didn't see the show last week when they were in, Jay and Lori, the owners and founders, they were in-house. We made a bunch of really fun stuff. We made chocolate waffles with made from a side dish, which was a polenta made from wild rice. It's crushed wild rice with some other seasoning in it. We took that, we made a waffle mix out of it, added some cocoa mix to it, or cocoa powder, and it had very little sugar. It's very low glycemic index, especially for a waffle or a breakfast, quick bread like that. And it was fantastically tasty, light, fluffy. Go to Nostalgia Wild Rice. They have all sorts of stuff. They have things like savory white cheddar wild rice pan bread. Actually, the pan breads are really good. They have also they have their own honey up there. They actually have a winery, and they make things like their own Imperial IPA beer jelly. Fantastic. They have whipped honeys, infused jams and jellies. Some have ghost pepper. So go to SpoonyWildRice.com and check out the products. They have an amazing lineup. They have like 60-something products on there, maybe more. Anyway, show our sponsor some love. We appreciate it. All right, we're going to go to a quick break. When I come back, more food news. I may open up the phone lines. I may, if I'm brave enough. All right, Chef Patrick Mosher, don't go away. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Get up, get a glass of water, cup of coffee, stay awake, come back.
Follow Chef Patrick Mosher on Twitter at Food Biz Pro.
Have you done it? You catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror?
I'm one of those people you don't want to see naked.
Yeah, most of us. But I mean, you look and you're going, what the?
I know.
How did I get to whatever?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible. Hey there, it's Doc Thompson and Brad Staggs to tell you about a different way to shed those pounds. This is brand new tech. It's only been around for a couple of years or so. It was based on research from the University of California that said there's a molecule called OEA that's found naturally in your body. It produces it in the Mediterranean diet, that when taken in concentrated amounts, it will actually make you feel fuller and boost your metabolism.
I've lost about 10 pounds so far.
It's amazing.
It
Now,
really is cool.
A company said, we can take this to market and make this great product that'll help you. It's called RiduZone, RIDUZone.com, RIDUZone.com. It's Brad's worked. It's worked for Brad's, worked for me, countless other people. Go to RiduZone.com and try today. You're going to love it. RiduZone.com. Remember that, RIDUZone.com.
Take the pain out of ordering your diabetic testing supplies with Diathrive. Diathrive ships the testing supplies you need directly to you when you need them. Best of all, with plans starting as low as $8 a month, Diathrive is probably going to cost you less than what you're paying today. Diathrive is so convinced that you'll love their service, they're offering your first month of supplies free. Simply type the code DOC, D-O-C, at checkout. Diathrive.com. That's DIA Thrive.com.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. That's 800-570-6630. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
And welcome back. Chef Patrick Mosher here. If you're just joining us, I just posted the link to that beautiful-looking $900 burger in Japan to celebrate the emperor's, the new emperor being installed into his non-vital role in the country, I suppose. You know, kind of like the. Oh, I can't say it. I can't knock the queen. Come on, she's old. She's not really feeble though. She probably kicked my butt. All right. Anyway, $900 hotel. I mean, $900. That would be reasonable in Japan. $900 burger in Japan. Crazy. All right. You can get it May 1st. Launches May 1st. Just go to Tokyo, stay at the Hilton. Anyway, crazy news crazy food news never stops, right? It just never stops. We had the $900 burger, the $120 hot dog at Minute Maid Park for the Houston Astros opener. The $28 2-foot hot dog, chili cheese dog at Arlington. I forgot whatever bank. I don't know. Look, these stadiums, that's another thing. So why do stadiums have to change names every 3 years? I mean, if it's such a good investment for the company to brand the stadium, right? Sponsor it, spend all that money. Maybe it's a tax write-off. Maybe that's it. Maybe then when they've had their 3 or 5 year stint, their tax, they've been able to write enough off, then I don't know. I don't understand it, but they change names all the time. If someone knows, I mean, I'm sure somebody does. You can probably comment. I probably won't see it. You know how it is. I can't. Okay, I can multitask. Don't tell people. I'll have to do extra stuff, please. Don't tell anyone. You know what? I don't even think I shared this to my page today once again. That's okay. You know, we'll do it now. Oh, Stephen Al says, I can lose weight. I can lose weight just drinking beer? Well, I don't know. I probably couldn't. You might be able to. I guess we'll have to try and find out, shall we? That's it. The new Spoony 30-day challenge. Gwen Rich, I'm sorry. I'm off Doc Thompson's healthy lifestyle challenge thing. I'm sorry. Sorry. I think we're going to do the Spoony, the Chef Patrick Spoony Beer for Breakfast Challenge. Well, we already do that on Fridays, actually. If you've never seen our other channel, go over. It's called the Mojo 50. I don't care what your politics are, but on Fridays, we give you a break for half an hour. Right? It's kind of fun. Matt Locke, he's on a show called it's a funny name, actually, Conservative Cartel. But all week long, he hollers into the microphone, blah, 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 and Fridays, they said, here, beer, drink beer, smile, talk about food, make people laugh. So if you really want to watch a funny show, it's from 11:30 to 12 Central Time. That's 12:30 to 1 Eastern. It's actually, no, it's late. Is it? Yeah, it's 11:30 to 12 because I need an hour show prep. So it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun. We typically have a couple other people just kind of barge in because they know that we're going to have good beer. And if it's been a really bad week, we have more than that. We'll have, a little bourbon. I think we had a cold one week. We had hot toddies. I've made Bloody Marys. It's fun. It's a good way to start the weekend a little early. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Knock off early. Take a late lunch or a long lunch. Pretend your iced tea or your Arnold Palmer has a little shot of vodka in it. Have some fun. Anyway, again, that's tomorrow on the Mojo 50. You can go to Facebook Live and look. You can go to mojo50.com. That's 50 and listen. And if you don't want to, that's fine too. Then you got to catch my show tomorrow at 1 o'clock Central. All right, so I'm going to post to the page. And here's the new thing, folks. Hashtag listen or starve. Hashtag enough said. There you go. That's it. Listen or starve. Enough said. I'm done. Except that I did it backwards for me. All right. No, it won't only highlight stuff on Facebook. I can't figure Facebook out. I don't know if you heard me yesterday. I was on a little bit of a rant, but Facebook is getting really difficult to use. I mean, I can start a watch party, but then I have to invite people to it. Everybody. Now, I heard that if you do it on your phone, you can invite all your friends at once, but I haven't tried it yet. All right, so listen. God, I'm just terrible at this. Or starve. I can't do this. I got to, I'm going to, the minute I wake up, as soon as he posts this, I'm going to post it. There you go. It's on my timeline. All right, those of you that don't follow Spoony, go to Patrick Mosher on Facebook. You can watch there. Oh, let's see. We got nostalgia stuff. We need to look through the Food Lover's Companion a little bit later today and see if I can open up to something that stumps me. In the meantime, though, Donna Childers. Oh, hell, glitter it up. Sorry. Glitter freaks me out a little bit. It really does. I was always afraid because, I don't even know what glitter is made of. It's got to be, I'm guessing, aluminum with some sort of metal flake powder coating on the other side. And I don't know. It's like I'm afraid to swallow that stuff. And there's not all of it's edible, by the way. It has to be food grade glitter if you're going to put it on your next unicorn colored, whatever the heck you're making, right? I wonder, unicorn, pride colored. I wonder if you could do pride colored pancakes. I wonder if I could use drip cups. It's basically something that they use in. Everybody's been to Denny's, right? Denny's or another place. It's the syrup type bottle that has a thumb, the button that you press down, and what it does is it draws back it slides back the seal, and it's just a flat piece of metal that covers the opening. And when you let go, you pull it back, it opens, cover it back up. But that's really handy. As a matter of fact, I'm going to teach you a trick of the trade. Wow. In restaurants, when we want to portion out a bunch of little portion cups, like tons of them, for a big shift, like at Pio's restaurant in Coronado Island, we had to do about 250 to 350 each of plum sauce, that plum sauce was awesome. It was this plum jelly that was proprietary to Cisco. Couldn't buy it anywhere else. So you took that, water, a little bit of hot sesame chili oil, and one other ingredient I won't tell you, and you pureed it up until it was really smooth. Man, that was awesome. Most of the Asian plum jelly has it has chunks of stringy plum in it. I don't like it, but that was excellent. But we'd have to do that. We had a ponzu sauce, which is a citrus soy sauce. We did a cracked black pepper ketchup, which we didn't make in-house, but we doctored in-house, and a bunch of other sauces that we had. Some of them went with coconut shrimp. 3 sauces went with that, and a variety of other dishes got these sauces. But we had these little ramekins, and you have to fill up. Okay, that's 4 sauces times, say, we'll just do 250. That's 1,000 per shift. 1,000. That restaurant had 260, 280 seats, did about $7 million a year. You figure out the math. On a weekend, we would, like a Friday, Saturday night, you'd have 400 covers, 400 individual diners. From the time they said go, I mean, the time you opened the door, it took about 30 minutes to fill the restaurant, and you didn't have an empty seat in the house except when they were bussing a table until it closed. We closed at 10:30. And took another 2.5 to 3 hours to close down the kitchen with all the cleaning we had to do. But I'm telling you, it's a lifesaver. And it's called a drip cup. And basically, the lid screws off, and it's a wide mouth 1-quart plastic container. And then you screw the lid back on. And basically, you can go really fast. You pull that lever back, and then you just go to the next one. You pull it back, let it go, pull it back, let it go. And it's awesome. It's a super time saver. So if you're going to do an event at your house, or you're going to cater a party and you need to portion out something like ketchup or tartar sauce, or you work in a restaurant and you've never had that luxury before, you're using squeeze bottles or whatever, or whatever you have to suffer with to fill pre-portioned sauces. A drip cup. It's called a drip cup, okay? And not a dribble cup. It's not a sippy cup, all right? It's a drip cup. And buy extras. Buy 3, 4 of them. What they're good for as well when you're making breakfast is if you've ever watched people make breakfast in a restaurant, a place where they make pancakes, which is where I was going before with the rainbow-colored pancakes, unicorn pancakes, whatever you want to call them. They have this thing. It's like a hopper, okay? And it's kind of like a hopper, one of those big ones. It's round, but it's like a big one that mixes cement, except it has no mixer inside. And what it is, it has a handle on the top, and then below the hopper, this spout comes down like a funnel, and it's about an inch wide at the bottom, maybe a little less than that. And it has a stopper in it. And the handle on the top has a grip. And when you squeeze the grip, it pulls the lower part of the grip, which is almost it's kind of facing down into that hopper. When you pull them together, it lifts the plunger, and then you can dispense the batter. Those are great, except it's really awkward to hold your elbow up and hold it high enough to get the food on the griddle. It's really awkward, and they run out all the time. But with and then it's just messy. It can be a little messy, but those drip cups are awesome. And if you're in a restaurant, you can fill up a bunch of those and keep them in the reach-in. They're awesome. I love them. Anyway, very handy tool. That's your tip of the trade. All right, I got to write it down because I got to keep track. I don't want to say number 2. That's the Chef Tips CT and Chef Tips and Tricks number. This was what 17,641. 641. Okay. Yes, I make them up, but I do keep track, so I don't reuse them. All right. More silly food news. All right. Today. Oh, wait, no, this is not silly. Today's National Burrito Day. Now, I don't know about you, but oh God, it's terrible to admit this. All right. Gonna open up. I'm gonna confess. If I didn't think they'd kill me quickly, I would still eat those little burritos, the 36-cent, 50-cent burritos, dollar burritos that you get at the convenience store. So when I was a kid in Arizona, we would get down to wrestling practice. We were starving. School got out about 3:15. We would start practice at 3:15. We had literally 5 minutes to run from class, get over there, change into your gear. Then we'd go for a mile run minimum, sometimes 2 as a warm-up. Then you'd have hours of practice, usually 2.5 hours, sometimes 3, depending on the time of the season and how fat we all were and how much weight we had to cut. By the end, you were starving. You haven't eaten since like 11:30 when lunch was. And then I didn't really have a car until I don't think I ever had a car in high school. I had a motorcycle, but I walked to school, or I rode a bike, or I rode with friends, or when the weather was nice towards the end of my stint, I did have a motorcycle. So I would walk home, and it was a ways. It was probably almost 2 miles to our house, at least 1.5 miles. So on the way, I'd be starving. I mean, you remember, you get so hungry, you start sweating and get really shaky. All right. And I don't mean the alcohol shakes or tequila hangover shakes. I'm talking like you're looking around. Are there any edible plants? Hey, do the neighbors have a pomegranate tree? Is that orange low enough hanging over the sidewalk that I can grab it? Because that's how it is in Arizona. Everybody's got a fruit tree in their backyard, or or fruit is a neighbor, one or the other. But I would get so shaky, and sometimes I'd have 50 cents or $1 left in my pocket. So I think there were $1.25 for the jumbo ones at Circle K. I didn't have a 7-Eleven on the way home. I'd stop by, and this was really forbidden. If my coach had found out, he'd probably just smacked me in the head and said, "You're not off the team, but I'm going to put a monitor on you, make sure you don't eat to excess, so you don't have to cut so much weight before the next match." But I would get one. I would get sometimes two, but it's the green chili burrito. Oh my gosh, with cheese. Those were okay. Maybe they weren't awesome now, but they were awesome then. I'm just saying. So, on that note, what was your guilty pleasure when you were a child? When you were that age, a teenager, preteen, going up to out of high school? What was that one thing, that really indulgent food, or that food that really wasn't healthy for you? What did you eat? What did you like? Snickers bars were my other one. The only time I ever stole anything, I stole a Snickers bar. Right? I stole a Snickers bar and I got caught. And you know how I got caught? Because I took the wrapper home. I'd eaten it, but I had the wrapper in my pocket. And my mother, I'd come home from wrestling practice. I was in like 7th grade. Maybe 6th grade, 7th grade. I changed clothes and she was getting laundry and she found that wrapper and she's like, "You don't have any money? Where'd you get this?" And of course, I made something up, and she goes, "Oh, well, I didn't ask for that lie, but now that you handed it to me, let's resolve the issue." So she proceeded to walk me down. It's about a half a mile to the store. Walked me into the store and said, "Pardon me, sir. Could I talk to you for a minute?" And right there, 6 or 8 people in there. People are in Slurpees or slushies, whatever Circle K had at the time. Because I know one is 7-Eleven, one's a Circle K. We're not going to get into the semantics and the details of that. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's a frozen drink that gives you a headache, and it's probably blue raspberry, which doesn't exist anyway. Don't get me off on that tangent again. So she tells the proprietor or the manager or person on duty, "Yes, my son would like to tell you something." And I'm like, "I'm sorry." She goes, No, you tell him." I said, "Yes, I stole a Snickers bar. I'm very sorry. I'll pay you back." And she goes, No, you're not. Well, you'll pay him back, but you'll also help work for free. So she said, "Why don't you grab the broom? Sir, do you have a broom?" Yeah. So I swept the entire outside of it was a sidewalk. It was the old concrete sidewalks they're all broken, and that wasn't a big deal. The store is 50, 80 feet long. It wasn't a big deal. And didn't have a sidewalk all the way around it, just in the front. And anybody in Chandler, Arizona, this is the old one on Hartford, right? The really old one near Hartford Elementary. Anyway, but she goes, No, you're not done. And he goes, "No, thank you. No, it's fine." She goes, No, he needs to sweep the entire parking lot. I mean, it wasn't a big parking lot. It probably could have held 6 cars in front of the store, and it probably the parking lot probably could have held another 20 cars if you parked them in there like a what do you call it? Valet service, right? And I swept that whole parking lot with a standard 10-inch, 12-inch wide broom. Anyway, don't steal, no matter how hungry you are, children. Remember, not Spoony approved. Don't steal, even when you're really hungry. Go ask somebody, "Hey, could you front me some money? Please, dude, I need a fix." Snickers bars and burritos. Frozen Snickers bar were the best ever. Elmer's in Chandler. Man, I think that was the first time I ever heard of anything like that. My mom used to buy Charleston Chew candy bars. You ever had those? It's like a taffy inside, like a fluffy taffy. It's not too, it's taffy, but it's not as chewy as saltwater taffy. Coated in chocolate. They had strawberry, vanilla, chocolate on chocolate. It was okay. They tasted good then. I know maybe they're not great now. I haven't had one in 30 years, but the flavor I remember as a child was good. But she used to freeze those as well, and that was awesome. Usually by the time you got 2/3 of the way through it, between the heat in your hand and the intense Arizona summer heat, they would start to melt. And so that last bit of chocolate, you kind of had to, like when you're trying to get the rest of the stuff out of the toothpaste tube, you had to squeeze the pieces of paper together, the wrapper, and squeeze it up to the top. And if you were lucky, you got that last bit of chocolate out of there. Yes. No, I mean, and I'm talking to myself in here now. Nobody's talking to you. Oh, yeah, those voices. The voices are talking as if you were speaking to me. Yes, I know that looks gross, but it's chocolate. I mean, come on. You can't leave chocolate in the wrapper. That's wasteful. We can't be wasteful, right? I talk about gluttony all the time. Can't be wasteful, even as a child. Anyway, so, post it. What was your guilty childhood food that was probably not very healthy? Stephen Isles, Hershey's Special Dark Chocolate. Oh, those were good. The Special Dark Chocolate bars. Those were the ones that had that kind of dark, burnt orange red that faded to like dark chocolate. That's the wrapper. Or for homemade, he said when they made Chex Mix as for a party, as everybody called it, right? Party mix, that's what you called it. Or when we made Buckeyes. Ooh, those are good. Trying to think. Favorite homemade? Oh, Kinsey Richards. Bag of powdered donuts and a bottle of A&W root beer. Sean Sheeler, low-hanging fruit in Chandler. Yes, you're right. You know what, though? Seriously. Also, blood sugar shakes from what is a blood sugar? I don't know what that is. Blood sugar shake. Oh, the blood sugar shakes. I thought that was your favorite drink to go with the powdered sugar donuts and a bottle of A&W root beer. Okay, this is kind of disgusting, but I'll admit to it as well. When I was in high school, I did not eat very well in the mornings. I didn't like to have cereal for breakfast. But when I got to school, I didn't like to have cereal because I was always running late. But when I got to school, Mark Ryan used to give me a ride to school. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. I would get to school and we had a little snack bar, right? The cafeteria was actually in an old part. It was the old gym. And I would occasionally, daily, maybe almost daily, go there. And I would get, oh my gosh, I can't even think about it. I would get 2 of the Suzy Q's and a chocolate milk. And that was my breakfast. Now, I recently tried Suzy Q's, because that was my favorite snack cake. It really was. But it's not the same anymore. It's nowhere near what it used to taste like. Well, at least from I recall that the cake is different. It's denser now. There's not as much air, not as many bubbles in it. It's I don't know. It's different. But, I tried it anyway. I didn't feel well afterwards. I should know better. But, I was trying to relive a special moment from my youth. Hashtag fail. Anyway. Oh, what else? Come on. Let's see. Do we have all the comments in here? Yep. Sean, I always got junk food from the gym cafeteria. I'm telling you, it was, we didn't have a big selection. What? Twinkies? I don't know, Twinkies. You had, chocolate milk, regular milk. Probably had, I'm sure we had donuts. We had the Suzy Q's. What else did we have? I don't know. I used to have a pre-race ritual, when I would ride, cycling. And it was also not healthy. But it was basically, I would, okay, I hate to admit this one either because it's not great nutrition, but a Coca-Cola and a Snickers bar right before the race. Yeah, I know. Not very good, but, I've outgrown that. It's okay. I grew up a little, kind of, sort of. I'll tell you, why does bad food taste so good? Really, why does it taste so good? I don't know. All right, I started a watch party. Please, if yeah, I know. Suzy Q's were your favorite. Yeah, I know. See, I'm not the only one. Please, if you start the watch party now, which I just started on Spoony Radio's Facebook page, please shift forward about 10 minutes so you don't see the open button on my shirt. That's pretty damn embarrassing, I have to say. Hey, El Kent Cottle, you reacted today. How you doing, brother? You need to call in at some point and tell me how things are going up there in Fort Collins. Man, I miss that state. It's a beautiful state and some of the best food I've ever had. Ooh, speaking of food in that great state, Martin Oswald probably created the best dish I've ever had in wild game dish. He won the competition one time. There was a competition between chefs. And yeah, I have stuff to talk about today. I just kind of like to go all over. It's more fun, right? No, I don't leave the page. All right. It's they have a wild game competition between several of the ski resorts, right? So there's you have Breckenridge, you have Aspen, Vail, Steamboat. There are several others, right? So anyway, you have Crested Butte on the other side, but really Steamboat, Vail, and Aspen, they competed and they would have other chefs, but primarily those two those 3 towns participated, and they would have like 3 or 4 chefs from each town, and they would compete. They would come up with a wild game dish, and Martin Oswald did this amazing dish. It was basically a elk tenderloin that was rolled in this really special. It was a proprietary herb blend that I can't tell you. I'd have to kill you because he man, what a great chef. But he would pan sear that, get really nice gold brown, throw the whole pan in the oven, and then in the meantime, we did a potato puree, which oh man, that was no, this was different. This you ever heard of potatoes lyonnaise? Potatoes lyonnaise is basically layers of potatoes and onion, salt and pepper, really thinly sliced potatoes. You don't pre-cook them. You just slice them really thin, and you don't don't rinse the starch off, right? You have to assemble this very quickly. This side dish for this was incredible, and this was part of the beauty of this dish. And anybody who's done a private party with me before, I've done them before a few times. But it's basically layers of potato and caramelized onion, salt, pepper, butter, and then you just keep layering that. And what you do is you do them in a hotel pan. Hotel pan is like a 2-foot by 11-inch pan or 18-inch by 11-inch pan that chefs use, restaurants use, catering services use. You know, you've gone to the buffet and there's that pan sitting over the steaming water in the chafing dish. That's a hotel pan. Some are deeper, some are more shallow. But in a standard hotel pan, which is a 2.5 inches deep, you line that with plastic wrap, and then you put some butter in there, and then potatoes, onions, caramelized onions, butter, salt and pepper, and you keep doing that, and fresh thyme leaves. You do that all the way up. You get about 6, 7, 8 layers until it's right to the top, and then you bake it in the oven, covered in tin foil. When it comes out, underneath the tin foil on the top, though, you also have plastic wrap. Okay, when it comes out, you let it cool for a second, and then you put a second pan that stacks inside of it right on top, and then you put 3 of the number 10, 3 fit actually in that pan, 3 number 10 cans. Number 10 can, that's the big giant can of chickpeas that nobody ever uses, or if you live in Texas, it's probably hominy that's sitting in your grandmother's pantry underneath the bottom shelf from God knows how many years ago. It's still sitting there 25 years later. You know, you're wondering, and it like the seal's starting to get kind of corroded. Yeah, that stuff. Anyway, that's the size can. The really big ones, like when you're going to have the whole family over for a holiday or a cookout, the big can of beans that you buy, right? All right, so it's you take that and you stick those 3 on there. They're like 8, 7, 8, 10 pounds each. You put them on top, and then you put the whole thing in the refrigerator, and what it does is compresses. And it gets nice and dense, and then you can cut it. So there's 2 great things about this: the presentation and then the scraps, right? For the chef, it's the scraps. Presentation, that's the guest. Chef also gets honors for that. But what it is you take it out of the pan. You take the weighted pan out, take the plastic wrap off, and then you flip it upside down. And now, in theory, it should be pretty easy to remove the pan from off of the plastic and off of the potatoes, and then you peel the plastic wrap back. Now what you have is basically this casserole, this dense potato substance. But when you trim the edges off, you can see the layers. So you square off all the edges, and then you take a 4-inch cookie cutter or a dough cutter, and you take that and you cut like a 3/4 moon shape out of this, basically. You want about an inch gap from a little less than an inch gap from the bottom, the round bottom of that cutter to where the potatoes start, and you cut those out along the edge, and then you remove those and you cut the edge straight again, and you keep doing that. Out of one pan, I think you get it's like 14, 12, something like that. Anyway, and then you take that when you're ready for service, you keep them cold. You pan sear one side till it turns golden brown. So now you have these really creamy looking layers of potato, and you have caramelized onion, and the butter coagulated in there because they're cold. It's beautiful. Then you flip it over, you pan sear the other side, and then that gets really nice and golden brown. You put the whole thing in the oven, and when it's ready, you can stand up that flat edge that you left when you didn't cut the full circle. You left that little piece off. It sits up on the plate. It stands up on the plate. Right on the plate. It's cool. It's like a 3/4 or 4/5 moon right on the plate. You stick a little thyme spray on top, and then so what we do, we take that tenderloin. We made we made ancho mayonnaise. We made the mayonnaise. We steamed and then soaked the chilies, and then we pureed the whole thing, and we used a couple of other chilies I can't tell you about because it was secret and it was amazing. And then you put that chili paste into the aioli. And we'd make this triangle on the plate. In one corner, or on one straight edge, went that potato, and then we lined that beautiful elk tenderloin out on there. Oh my God, it was so delicious. I'm telling you, Martin Oswald. If you've ever been to Aspen, he owns a restaurant. The name is Martin Oswald Chef. There's a place called Explore Bookstore in Aspen, and he's the owner and chef there, Martin I have not been in Aspen in a while, so I have to look up the name. Pyramid Bistro. That's it. And, I did not know. Oh, they also own Riverside Grill and Basalt. Huh. Wow. Okay, so when I met him, he was at Syzygy. Syzygy is a great Aspen restaurant. He's a rock star, man. This guy's born in Austria. He studied spa cuisine, which is a very hot. It's like the highest art form of healthy cuisine. Beautiful stuff. We used to do these purees of vegetable purees with snow peas or sugar snap peas and yellow bell peppers and white wine and a little bit of garlic, and it would come out as a beautiful, beautiful sauce we could paint the plate with. Anyway, I didn't realize. So he owns Riverside Grill as well in Basalt. He's the executive chef at Ute City, which is another restaurant in Aspen, and Syzygy, where he's been forever. Heck, I started in Aspen in 1997, and he's still there. Anyway, great chef. Man, if you get a chance to check him out, I would really love. His son actually participated on, there was a children's cooking competition with, what's her name? Rachel Ray. He didn't win, but he did really. I don't think he won. I'll have to check and see. Martin, man, if you're listening, I would love for you and your son to do a podcast. How about that? You know? He obviously, he's a great study because I saw the plates. The stuff he put out was pretty phenomenal. You're an amazing chef. I'm calling you out. Anyway, Chef Patrick Mosher, we have another break coming up. This one's 4 minutes. Time for me to go, take a break for a second. Come on back. More to come.
This is the only 24-hour take-anywhere platform dedicated to food and fun. We're Spoony.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. President Trump is backing off his threat to close the U.S.-Mexico border, but is now threatening tariffs. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
The president says slapping tariffs on cars produced in Mexico is a less drastic measure than closing the border. So he's giving Mexico 1 year to stop migrants trying to enter the U.S. and to halt the flow of illegal drugs.
If the drugs don't stop, Mexico can stop them if they want. We're going to tariff the cars. The cars are very big. And if that doesn't work, we're going to close the border.
The president says he's pleased that Mexico is doing more to stem the flow of illegal immigration since he threatened to close the border. Greg Clugston, the White House.
And President Trump says trade talks with China are moving along very nicely.
It's going to be a great deal. If it's not a great deal, we're not doing it. But it's going very well. Top officials are here. And, we're very well along on the deal. It's a very complex deal. It's a very big deal.
The president made the comments before he was scheduled to meet this afternoon with China's top trade negotiator, Vice Premier Liu He. The two countries are working to end a standoff that has shaken financial markets and darkened the outlook for the world economy. Also on townhall.com, a House committee chairman has formally asked the IRS to provide 6 years of President Trump's personal tax returns and the returns for some of his businesses. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders was asked if the president will order the IRS to release his tax returns.
We're not interested in playing a bunch of political games like the Democrats in Congress clearly want to spend their time doing. The president's focus on actually solving real problems like the crisis at the border, dealing with health care and a number of other fronts.
This is the first such demand for a sitting president's tax information in 45 years. On Wall Street, stocks are mixed. The Dow is up 109 points. The Nasdaq is down 27. More on these stories at townhall.com.
It looks like you're losing.
I am.
Are you losing weight?
I am losing. I've lost about 10 pounds.
How are you doing it?
Funny name, but I've done it with Riduzone. RIDUzone.com, and the stuff works. It's, you get into all that, the molecule this and the found in that. All I can tell you is it makes you feel full, and it keeps your mind off of wanting to overeat.
And also boosts your metabolism, so you're burning more.
Yeah,
Try it today. It's going to work for you like it's worked for Brad and countless other people. Riduzone.com. RIDUzone.com.
If you're trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
Yo, we're back. You hungry? Listener starve, folks. Listener starve. Hey, you know, there was a point with this whole burrito topic today. It is actually, okay, which I don't understand. Today is National Burrito Day. I'm not sure who coined this one. There's always some company, somebody that you know, there's the National Day Calendar. There's a couple of them. The official National Day Calendar. And if you go there, you know, there's today is, tomorrow is, you can look it up. You know, basically there's 15 different holidays every day of the year. Today happens to be National Burrito Day. Okay, but what confuses me about that, if today's National Burrito Day, then why are the specials starting tomorrow like at California Tortilla? So if you have a California Tortilla near you, or there's one coming soon, or like within the next 5 days, you can go and they look, they're offering a deal that you can't resist. So they didn't offer it today. They offered it for the future. That way they're going to bolster that 5 days of weekend. You know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That's pretty much 5 days a weekend. But if you buy a burrito or a burrito bowl on Thursday, then you get a free burrito credit that can be used April 5th through the 12th. Yeah, look, that's a buy one, get one. So you know why they do that, folks? I'm going to teach you a trick. Probably 15%. If you get something free in the future, 15% of people redeem that, probably less. All right. Gift cards, they can be profitable for restaurants as long as the discount associated with those gift cards isn't too steep. So I worked for a restaurant up in another state, and we did a promotion when we reopened the restaurant. It was it doesn't matter what happened. They sold gift cards. And I think if you bought them at Costco, or I know it was the other place, Sam's, it was like $80 for a $100 gift card. Okay, that's a $20. That's a 20% discount. 20%. So, I mean, that's a little on the excessive side, but typically you get a little bit of a discount. But it doesn't really matter because only about 40%. Actually, it's lower than this, but max about 40%, maybe 50%. Really. In an area that's super dedicated to coupon hunting or coupon clipping, you know, using their these gift cards 100%, reloading them all and regifting them. No, seriously, 60% is one of the highest redemption rates across the country. So if you think about it, they give a 20% discount. 40% don't use them. It's 20% is free money. 20%. Damn, that's good business right there. Forget the Twizzlers as a straw in a strawberry margarita, Applebee's. I'm sorry. That's not really... There's no benefit to that, right? Yes, it's $1. That's the benefit. You don't need the Twizzler straw. You don't. Gift cards. It's kind of a racket, right? You have to pay the company that makes them, but it can come out profitable. You can easily with zero effort on those, 20% right off the top into your bank account. I mean, that's good business. So it's even more so on that freebie, right? Now, granted, this is a true freebie. You buy one burrito or a burrito bowl, you get a free burrito in the future for one of the next 5 days or 7 days. The problem is you have to be a member of the restaurant's Burrito Elito Rewards Club, which means you probably have to eat 10 burritos a month or whatever it is, which is where they make their money from you. And then you have to pay to be a member, or maybe you don't. But most people won't redeem that. Probably, I would say under 30% redeem those free coupons for future purchase. Anyway, Chewy's, if you're from Texas, hell, you might even live in Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas, at least in the Bentonville-Rogers area. Chewy's restaurant, fantastic Tex-Mex. Most locations, some, but the ones here in Texas that are close to, I think home office is in Austin, right? Chewy's restaurant. They're using today to offer an easy way to help out charity. $1 of every big as your face burrito. So big as your face. Everybody's got a shtick, man. Big as your face burrito sold today will be donated to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. That's something I could, get behind. And Chipotle still open? I thought they'd closed after the 15th lawsuit and the 7th closing by the health department of the whole chain. Now, don't get me wrong. Chipotle, I'm telling you, the original store, when I lived in Denver, I was going to culinary school. The original store was between the apartment and the school, about halfway. It was literally a mile from where I lived. And damn, it was good. They did a good job. All right. By the time I got there, though, they had been purchased by McDonald's. They had just been purchased, and they were doing okay. I mean, the food was still the same. They hadn't changed the systems. Now, they're not owned by McDonald's anymore. It's Chipotle again, all by themselves. But, man, why would you even bother going? But I'll tell you the offer anyway, because, look, their food tastes good. Just, I don't know where the breakdown is there. Well, I don't know why. Do they not have systems in place to sanitation systems, the nuts and bolts to operate your restaurant? And again, I'm sorry if I'm griping today because I've given up. I'm going to stop using the B word, but I stopped griping and complaining for Lent. I gave that up. But I really, I'm befuddled by this. How many store closures can you have in a 5 or 6 year period, or even a 3 year period? I mean, it looks like they're just getting back on track, and all of a sudden, 55 more people sick from one Chipotle. Look, you're grilling chicken and beef, and you know what? I'll bet it's the chicken portion. Because if you've ever been in there, when they grill chicken, they grill 200 pieces at a time. They cover up both grills. It's like 6-7 feet of grill, 8 feet of grill, and if you look, it's cooking really slow, right? So I don't know if it's that there's some sort of cross-contamination at that point. I don't know, but it's awful. They've had so many problems. I'm glad they're still alive and kicking because their food really was good, especially when they started. How you doing, Gary? I'm calling you out. Hey, there's the right next to the number 1 at the top. There's one to the left of that. Unmute it. It's okay. It's okay. You own the building. You can touch the board. There, at the very top, there's a number 1 right next to that to the left. There you go.
Am I on the air?
You are on the air, Mister Gary. You know what? I don't know your last name. I know it, but I don't remember. How y'all doing?
All right.
What's your last name, sir?
Flager.
Okay. Well, I know it wasn't the same as your daughter's. That's a anyway. So Gary, you seriously? No. This is cool. I want to talk about this because your daughter developed this amazing app, right?
Yes.
Okay. And part of that's because you have some dietary restrictions.
Correct.
Okay. Do you remember the name of the app? I have it. I'll tell it in a minute. But it's basically, it has to do with health in Italian. That's but this application for those with digestive issues, gluten sensitivity, allergies to pepper, anything like that, you can look on there and people submit locations that have these allergens. But even better, you can find restaurants that don't have them, so you can be pretty much guaranteed a safe meal. I'm telling you, it's genius. Genius.
Yeah, there's several restaurants around that we've put the stickers on that the chef is aware of. MSG, people don't realize how allergic people can be to MSG.
Oh yeah, and black pepper. Black pepper is one of those allergens that people don't even know they have an allergy to. They think it's gluten. And it's terrible. The side effects of sensitivity to black pepper are exactly like gluten sensitivity, and they misdiagnose all the time.
Well, I remember years ago when they took the peanuts off of Southwest Airlines, and I thought that's kind of silly. People can't be that allergic to peanuts. Well, guess what? I learned a valuable lesson back then.
Okay, I'm going to play joking, but I thought you said peanuts. Okay, I thought you said something else there. I'm just joking, Gary. So Gary, you have someday I got to have you come in. I know we don't have to talk about food, but your story is very entertaining. I know you're like, I can't tell my story. I have to kill you, but you could give some of it. I mean, you had a storied career. You were, a pilot. Can you tell the story where you flew over the Grand Canyon at least? Never mind. let's just say he got a very candid
flew
picture.
Down in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not just flew down, but inverted.
I don't want the FAA coming after an acquaintance of yours.
I think that the statute of limitations on that may have expired. It's been at least 10 years.
Yeah. Well, I don't need anybody turning rocks over.
Yeah. No, Gary, you were an F4 pilot, right?
F4.
F4,
yes.
man. That was the most amazing plane ever. I'm telling you. It's like sitting on one big rocket engine.
2 engines.
Yeah. One
That's
big
what
one.
the F4, as they said, the F4 shows that a brick could fly if you put enough power behind it. So
anyway,
I'm going to go with the guess.
I know.
Patrick,
Gary, thanks.
Good seeing you.
All right, so I've been trying forever to get him to like depress that. I can never catch him on the air. Gary's one of the most interesting people I've ever met. I wish we could just tell his entire story. He is one of the owners of the Country Network. They also own this structure with a couple of other investor partners, but they've been very good to us. I need to say thank you very much for being patient with us. Being helpful in helping us to utilize the facilities to the fullest. They've been amazing to us. Nothing but good things to come. And they have a studio downstairs where we're going to build a kitchen studio, a full kitchen TV set. I'm excited. In theory, it should be done by the end of second quarter. So if you want to sponsor, I have a guaranteed outlet. The Country Network, we put a little country music in there, do some country cooking, grandma's biscuits and gravy. We have pretty much guaranteed distribution if we meet the requirements. So you want a show, you want to promote a show, you want to sponsor the studio, you have a flooring company, you want to pay for we'll take your money. We'll take your money. We'll say thank you. And thank you. Thank you to a lot of people out there. You know who you are. All right. So back to the special. Del Taco. Del Taco's still around? I didn't know. If you spend at least $5 and download the app, you get a free bean and cheese burrito. So I don't like downloading the apps because I have enough updates as it is from social media and just my email. I suppose I could dump a couple of the 6 email accounts that I have because 3 of them I never check. Okay, 4 of them I never check. 1 of them I rarely check, and the other 2 just overwhelm me. But yeah, I don't like downloading. But if you want to, you can download the app and get a free bean and cheese burrito if you spend $5. Dos Toros. You ever wish that guacamole didn't cost extra? It's just some damn avocado with some jalapeno and tomato in there, right? Well, Dos Toros is offering free guacamole in all burritos as long as you follow the brand on Instagram. See, they're smart, man, getting you to that social media. I got to stop complaining about social media. I just need to get with it and make an impact because it is the most powerful and influential, the most efficient, effective, fastest way to become an influencer in the world of food and or whatever you do out there. And all right, El Pollo Loco. Buy 1 burrito, you get 1 for free with this coupon. So you can download the coupon. Tijuana Flats. Oh, I used to like Tijuana Flats. Every Thursday, Tijuana Flats offers its Throwback Thursday deal, which is a burrito bowl plus chips and a drink for $5.99. That's not a special for today. That's it's a Throwback Thursdays, DAZE. They had to put a couple of extra margaritas in that, and like $1 a margarita up to 4, then you'd be in a daze. All right, so I don't like downloading the apps, but I got to get a handle on this. I have to do something. I wonder if we do you know what? Download the Spoony app. We don't have an app yet, but when we do, and get $5 off your first purchase of any edible product. We don't have any edible products, but maybe we'll get some in the shopping cart. Who knows? All right. We joke about drinking a lot on the show. We do drink, not usually in the morning, not even usually in the afternoon. We do all tip a beer at our weekly board meeting, not B-O-R-E-D. It is B-O-A-R-D. We as partners all sit on the board and make important decisions on how we're going to entertain you throughout the next few days and coming weeks and years, hopefully years and decades. But, beverage trends are changing. And one of the trends, I've spoken about this several times, but millennials they don't drink as much, right? Especially the last year or two. Now, there are several theories, but, I really think, and this research actually this really promotes and actually kind of doesn't prove, but kind of backs me up a little bit. So as you get older, right, millennials now are getting older. I think the first millennials, which is Generation X, we'll call them Gen X, or Gen Y, the first Gen Yers, right, I believe they just turned 40 this year, starting in January, right? Now, there's some debate, facts out there to debate whether it started later or earlier. It's a big generation. It's one of those generations that spans many years. It's not like some of the shorter ones. Like Baby Boomers was a long one. Gen X was kind of shorter. Gen Y is longer. Gen Z is a little bit shorter. But basically, they're growing up, right? And they don't like hangovers. So they're not drinking as much. They're not. Now, I don't know if Gen Xers ever stopped drinking as much. We were tough kids, man. We were latchkey kids. No one's ever home. Fed ourselves. I mean, man, I used to take a 2 piece of white bread, some mayonnaise, the cheapest lunch meat we had, slice of cheese, processed American. Yes, I know that's terrible. Throw it in the microwave until it all got hot with a little mustard on there. Yeah, I know it sounds gross now, and it really kind of makes my stomach churn. But when I was 14 and no one was home and my mother was working, I had to feed myself. So, that's what I did. Anyway, Richard Brandt, you said, oh boy. Yeah, Richard, we're going to talk about that in a minute. I suppose he hasn't seen the photos added to Google Maps last week. No, what happened? I don't know. So Richard, explain that, will you? What's going on? So TCN has not seen the photos added to Google Maps last week. No. Did you guys add photos? Anyone? Somebody's going to have to comment because I don't know what you're talking about. Dun, dun. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, you have to fill me in. All right. So, I don't know. I don't know what pictures were added. Oh, I added. So, Richard, what photos did you add? Let me know. I don't know where the heck. But anyway, Spoony Radio. What are we going to talk about next? There's all sorts. Oh my gosh. So, y'all know Joe Wilson, my buddy up in Bentonville, Arkansas. You don't know him, but he's really funny, and he's one of the smartest guys I know. He hosts the world's only, it's the world champion squirrel cook-offs annually in Bentonville. I think it's in October, September. It's a one-day event, but it's a big event. I believe they're 8th, 9th, 10th year this year. I think 9th, something like that. And it's really fun. Look, squirrel is all organic, free range, They eat clean. They pretty much only eat one thing, and it's very high in protein. It's super lean, very lean. All right. Well, apparently, there was an anti-vegan protester in England. This is in London. He kind of caused a bit of a stir. He was the Soho Vegan Market on Rupert Street. Apparently, he went into the marketplace, and he really doesn't agree with the vegan diet regimen. So I think it's Sverige, SV3RIGE, who is also sometimes known as GOATIS, GOATIS. He actually went into the middle of the vegan marketplace and he ate raw squirrel brains. I need to swallow that back down. Yeah, I said raw squirrel brains. I'm not sure about that. Look, dude, that's just nasty. I don't need to read the rest of the Anyway, he was wearing a shirt that said veganism equals malnutrition, and police arrested him. Yeah, that's just not cool, dude. Look, you can be, I guess if you want to eat, I don't know. I hope it wasn't somebody's pet. Was it your pet squirrel, dude? Where'd you get the squirrel? Come on, man. Fess. Where'd you get the squirrel? Did you trap it? Did you shoot it? I mean, it couldn't have been. Look, squirrels, they're wily little things. You ever tried to trap a squirrel or a chipmunk? It's hard. When I was a kid, oh man, I tried for, 3 years between the ages of 5 and 8. That is 3 years, doing the math. To trap a squirrel with one of those little boxes leaned up on a stick with a couple of acorns underneath. There aren't a lot of squirrels in upstate New York where I live. There are some, but where I was, there were a lot of chipmunks, right? You can't trap them. You could never pull that stick quickly enough. Never. I'm just telling you. And man, if you did get a hold of one, you know how many bites you'd have in the first 15 seconds, first 3 seconds. Yeah, I mean, it looked like a stapler chewed on your hand, right? So he must have acquired it somehow. I don't know if he shot it, trapped it, whatever. But dude, that's gross. All right, I can't even. No, okay. Well, actually, here's another one. There was a pig's head incident apparently. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's I don't know. I can't even read that one. It's It's just gross. Why would you go out in front of vegans and eat something raw and disgusting like that? It's just stupid. All right. I mean, look, if you want to protest something, protest. You don't need to interfere, disrupt, to do something like that. I mean, nobody. But look, I'm not vegan. I respect vegans' rights, but I'm not happy when they go to a store where I want to purchase something that's meat-based, protein-based, animal protein-based, especially not plant protein, although that's okay. But if I want to go in and purchase something, I don't want them standing in the way or blocking me or disrupting something or shouting in my face. It's just it's silly. It really doesn't. There's no effect to that other than to piss other people off, right? Really. So why would you go back and do it the other direction? It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Now, there's another. There's some man who was turned away for something because he was dressed by Batman. I don't even want to know what that was. No, not going to do it. Oh, hey, this is actually interesting. A couple of these kind of stumped me. I came across an article because I often counsel diners and, just the general population on what do you not order on certain days or things that you shouldn't order in a restaurant. And I found this list of 14 things you should never, ever eat at a restaurant. I found it interesting. This comes from the, this is eatthis.com. Eat This Not That that's the headline. And basically it's, they have a bunch of Pinterest photos in there. And there are 14 things. These are 14 things you should never ever eat at a restaurant. Avoid these common foods to minimize your risk of food poisoning on your next meal out. Now, I was aware of most of these, actually probably all of them. But number one, and this is actually, I agree with this, drink garnishes. Now, take this with a grain of salt. I mean cut lemons for iced tea, basically. I'm serious. What happens is, in a restaurant, like P.O.'s is a good example. I worked there long enough. I know I can give you all the numbers by heart. We about 180 to 200 steaks a night, blah, blah, blah. Basically, we did 4 gallons or more, sometimes up to 6 gallons of cut lemons a day on a weekend. 6 gallons of lemon wedges, right? So some of those were used for the bar, some were used for the kitchen, but basically 6 gallons, up to. All right, that's a lot of damn cut lemons. 5-gallon bucket's big, you got an extra 1 gallon. But what happens is, when one station runs out of lemons, somebody's got to run to the back, and they have to, fill up a container and take it back out front. The thing is, maybe it might be a busboy, it might be a food runner, it might be a server, it might be a bartender, it might be someone from the kitchen, but they don't always, which they should, they don't always wash their hands, and so they're filling up this container. Now, what else happens is at the station where they're used, and in the bars, I'm not picking on bartenders. Y'all are rock stars. I don't mix drinks unless I can just stir it in the glass or just pour it together. I just don't. It's fun. It's not that much fun. I'd rather drink what you make me and cook what I eat. Eat what I cook myself. Cook what I eat. Eat what I cook myself. So, there's a lot of E. coli that gets spread around. Part of it's that a lot of times the lemons don't get washed or they get mixed with other produce, and it's really unsafe, right? Look, if you're a restaurant out there, take precautions. Wash the lemons. Wash them in water, drain the water, rinse them one more time, and then make sure that you have a nice clean surface. A lot of times people don't think about it. You cut greens on a cutting board, it may have E. coli on these raw greens that have not been washed. Then you rinse them, and then you cook them. But, especially in a restaurant, you might go back and use that same cutting board again. You can't do that. You have to wash between every ingredient. Every time. I'm sorry, but you have to. Anyway, they said that 76 lemons, they took 76 lemons at 21 different restaurants, all right? And they found that 53 of them contained microbial growth, and most of them, 7 of those were E. coli. It's not good. Look, especially in iced tea, they sit out at room temperature all that whole day, and they don't always use tongs. You see people using their hands sometimes. Just don't do it. Or, have them bring you a fresh lemon and cut it yourself. All right. Raw sprouts. Now, this is another one. Sprouts actually can harbor, E. coli, listeria, salmonella. Salmonella is a big one. I remember in restaurants, in Japanese restaurants, we use a lot of radish sprouts, daikon radish sprouts. We can't use them sometimes. They'll have certain times a year, everybody will be out. It's just not good. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. So I was just looking at the comments. I was asking what pictures they posted, but it wasn't a big deal. So they were not in here harassing Mr. Ron, fortunately. All right, we'll go through one more of these. So the microgreens, or not the microgreens, but these sprouts, All right, they're very easily contaminated, right? And they grow them in really high humidity atmosphere in these greenhouses, and any sort of those bacteria, Listeria, Salmonella, E. coli, they all grow like wildly fast in those environments. It's just not good. Jimmy John's had a huge outbreak, right? And they took the sprouts off the menu. So think about it if you're going to do that. All right, one more time. Tap water. All right, tap water in restaurants. It's not always a good thing. Stick to the bottled stuff. When I dine out, I like sparkling water anyway. And the more it smells like sulfur, like in Saratoga Springs, the Vichy water there, not fishy, Vichy. It's the water that comes out of the springs there in Saratoga Springs. It smells like sulfur, but once you get used to it, it tastes pretty good. Yeah, you get over the odor, but the taste always lingers on and on. Anyway, it's there are a lot of times in restaurants don't always have the filtration systems built into the faucets, or they might, who knows, man, they do crazy things. People fill up pitchers out of the sink that's supposed to be used for produce. You just don't know. Stick to bottled water. It's much safer. Raw oysters, that's one too. In those warm summer months, just don't do it. Don't do it. Anyway, all right. Wow, 1/2 an hour left. I think we're going to have a call from Cody Storts here in a minute. I'll text him and make sure. Anyway, I'll be right back. Chef Patrick Mosher, Food Biz Pro, back in 2.
Follow Chef Patrick Mosher on Twitter @FoodBizPro. Got an old car? You can donate it, whether it's running or not, to the United Breast Cancer Foundation and save a life. They'll even come and pick it up for free. The United Breast Cancer Foundation has saved hundreds of women's lives through their free or low-cost breast screen exams. But now they need your help. The United Breast Cancer Foundation wants to save more lives through early detection by offering women free or low-cost breast screening exams. And donating your old car, SUV, or truck, whether it's running or not, helps pay for them. Plus, you get a charitable tax deduction. Help the United Breast Cancer Foundation save lives by donating your old car, SUV, or truck. Call now for free pickup. 800-245-0823. 800-245-0823. 800-245-0823. Call right now. That number again is 800-245-0823.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-452-1075. 800-452-1075. That's 800-452-1075.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
We're back. Yes, we're back. We're back. Hello. Oh man, you know what? That's a long day. That's a lot of talking. This is 2 hours of programming. I feel like I've talked about nothing today. Nothing and everything. A little all over the map. All right. I've never sat down so much in my entire life. Never. My joints are achy. Oh my gosh. Whew. I need to get me one of those lasers. By the way, the portable version of that laser they spoke about on the Gut Check project today, $18,000. Take it anywhere. I might have to change roles. I might have to start a whole new company. You know what? I'm going to have people come in here. We'll bring them in. We'll treat their injuries, and they go, you're so good, Mr. Mosher. Here's your money. And, that's going to be we're just going to do live treatments with this new laser technology. All right. It looks like Cody Storts is on the line. Cody, let me answer the phone here. I got to press answer. Cody, you there? Nope. Cody, you there? Can you hear me? You know what? The phones may or may not be unmuted on the other side. Let's try. Oh, yeah, they are. Okay. Well, Cody, you there? I may have to hang up and have you call again. All right. I'm going to dump the call. Call back. There we go. Easy enough. Sorry, Cody. Love you, brother. So he should be calling back any minute. Anyway, Cody is now working with I believe it's the Chef's Warehouse. If you don't know what that is, we're going to tell you in a minute. But man, you want the finest ingredients in the world, this is where you go. He'll be back on in a second. So how did that? Come on, man. There it is. Okay, there we go. Let's try one more time. Answer. Hello? Nope. Anybody there? Hello, hello? Anyone there? Hello, hello? Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. So okay. All right. It looks like Ron's got it figured out. I'm telling you, thank you.
Cody, are you there?
Cody, brother, you there? Hello, hello? I'll text him one more time.
I don't. Not sure what's going on.
He may not have good signal. So let me dump that call one more time. All right, try again. All right. Yeah, look, it doesn't always go perfectly here at Spoony Radio, but, yeah, live. I at least haven't dropped the F-bomb live on the air yet. But, okay. Ooh. I feel like, there we go.
Welcome back, host. Have a great show.
Hey, that's pretty dang cool. Woohoo! We got 2 hosts. Oh, dang it. We're back down to 1. Okay, I need to go live. I need to hit. Oh, lost him. All right, at least I'm live. Okay, so Cody's going to call in a minute. Anyway, let's go through the menu items. Raw oysters. Okay, yes, no, maybe. This is debatable for me, but they can have some really, really, really bad viruses in them. Novovirus is one, which Novovirus that's a broad swath of, it's like an excuse, kind of like a fibromyalgia, but hold on a second. Cody, are you there?
Brother Cody? Am, like magic.
Hey, dude, I don't know what, blame it on me. That's why chefs should...
No, it was awesome.
Oh.
It was awesome. I thought it was an alien. It was an alien talking to me on the other line. It was great. It was making rhythmic sounds to my brainwaves for a minute.
You know what happened is they didn't have one. They had one of those lasers in the studio today. They didn't really, but I think they affected my brainwaves somehow. So now I was trying to communicate telepathically. Speaking of aliens, you know what? Scariest scene in any movie ever, I think, with aliens. What was the one with what was the movie with Mel Gibson and the aliens? With the little boy that had the tinfoil on his head, but they didn't like water. But I'm telling you, they're having a birthday party in Brazil or something like that, and then they look out, they hear something out in the alleyway, and this alien walks by. Man, the hair on the back of my neck stood up for a week. Not cool. But all right, we're not here to talk about aliens, Cody. What the hell are you doing now, man? What's going on? You got all sorts of changes coming.
It's been good. I did. I'm on baby watch with the family. Went to the doctor today, and she's at a 1, so it could be any minute, man. So I'm on baby watch is the first thing, which is cool. The family's growing. So
nice. Congratulations, man. Do you know if it's going to be a boy or a girl?
It's going to be a girl, man. Karma is what karma is. I'm sure I'm going to have another girl as well. Three's a charm, right?
Absolutely. I know you're not complaining. That's for sure.
No, man, they're the apple of my eye, and I kind of feel bad for moms. I mean, it's everyone's daddy's little girl. What can I say?
I understand. Sorry, Mama, no attention for you. I got to take care of the kids. So look,
100%.
So on the business side of stuff, I know things have changed drastically because you want to have more time with the kids and be, not just being on baby watch, but you want to spend some time with them. So what in the world are you doing now, man? And I let the cat out of the bag, but I'll prefer you do it in your words.
Yeah, man. So I decided to step out of the kitchen, which was an awfully wild decision after so many years at the grind, which behind the stove and throwing pans and kind of running the new crew and riding my wave. I finally decided that nights and weekends, get out of there, be out of the family, and switch gears. So I started working as a rep for high-end products and food out here, learning all kinds of awesome products from truffles and caviars to high-end flours, oils, charcuterie, a lot of charcuterie, and learning just how crazy that business is. And then on top of that, I've been doing cannabis supper club dinners that start in May, which is an awesome take in that industry, dude, which I'm stoked to be a part of.
Well, I don't know anything about what you're talking. I don't know anything about that industry whatsoever. I don't know what you're talking about. Other than that little radio show I have on Purple Haze Radio up on Dash. I haven't done a show over there in a while. I should have you call in to do a show. You want to do that?
I would love to, man. I would love to. I'm new to that world as far as entertainment goes, and it's been the clientele is fun. Let's put it that way. They're a great time, man.
So, it was always fun for me, right? Because I'm not a big partaker, but sitting around and just being the one sober one in the room and watching everybody else giggle made me laugh. It's
100%.
the tangents that people go off on. Yeah, and so look, this is not a mysterious thing to us in the restaurant industry. Let's be honest. There is a lot of consumption of. We use a lot of herb in the restaurant industry, right? It's consumed. A lot is consumed.
Yeah. Well,
Nope. Did I lose you again? Uh-oh. Dang it. Are you there, Cody? Man, what'd I do? I swear, guys, I didn't do this. Cody, hello. Man, I don't know what's going on, but the phone lines are not good today. All right, looks like maybe he hung up. He'll call right back. Anyway, yes, so in the restaurant industry, it's very stressful to work in the kitchen. It's kind of like being in a dungeon. You don't see the light of day. A lot of times you go to work before it's light. You go home after it's dark, and there he is again. All right, let me answer. And, hey, Cody, man, sorry about that. I don't know what I'm doing. You there? Man. Hello. Ronaldinho, are you there? All right. Well, I'm going to try to get, hey, Cody, I'm going to try to get Ron back on the phones. Let me see if I can find him. Anyway, yeah, this was not really one of the big topics we're going to talk about today, but it's very common in the industry for people to partake, and it's not necessarily an illogical step that Cody's taking into this realm, and not to it's legal in California. Both the let's try one more time. Cody, you there? Hello. All right, man, I'm getting frustrated now. Ron. All right. Hey, Cody, man, I'll text you in a minute. Let me see if I can get a fine producer on. Anyway, it's a very stressful industry, and so guys would leave between shifts or at the end of a shift, and they go and get their head straight. Basically, it's a way to calm down, relax. It's a very high stress environment. I'm not advocating for it, but in California, look, it's legal both at the medical and recreational level. Cody, there? Dang it! Hello. All right, Ron, where are you? Ronaldinho. No, it's Ron Phillips. All right. Phones are down again. Cody, you probably can't decipher what I'm saying, but I can't hear you at all, which is unfortunate. So, I don't know what's up. Anyway, he'll come back. We'll try and figure it out, Cody. Hey, I'll text you in just a second, all right? Or just listen. I'll tell you when to call in. All right, so it's not illogical that people step into this market. As a matter of fact, there are a couple of chefs in California that worked in Michelin-starred restaurants who've now gone full-time into these infused dinners. So Cody's in a different realm, a little bit different realm. He had the dinners he's working on and are not infused dinners. Basically, what they do is they're pairing the food with a particular strain or process, right? Either it's the flour or an extract or maybe an oil, right, or a brittle, however they're preparing it. Anyway, they pair that with the food and that little course. And it's not. This is an event where it's a tasting, right? A little bite, a little smoke, and then you go to the next thing. Anyway, it's supposed to be very cool. It looks cool to me. I'm very anxious to see how things turn out. And there he is. Hey. Anyway, Ron will be back in a minute, and he'll get us back on the phone in a sec. All right. So yeah, I wish I had more technical prowess, but then I couldn't sit in front of the camera here and walk back there and fix the phones because you'd have to stare at an empty table or listen to silence because I don't have wireless headphones or a mic that's wireless, so you'd be stuck listening to nothing instead of me pontificating about the magic puffery that is now the cannabis laced food. Right. Anyway, Cody's going into that realm a little bit. We'll see what he's got to say. But, man, if you don't know what Chef's Warehouse is, the Chef's Warehouse, right? It's chefswarehouse.com. They have some amazing products. They have stuff. Man, Allen Brothers Meats, one of my probably my favorite of the distributors in the country. MT Food. Dairyland milk products, dairy products, awesome. Man, I can't even tell you how many things. The variety of seasonings that they have, herbs and spices. Unbelievable. Natural, organic, imported, homegrown, small batch, you name it, they have it. All right, Cody, let me get your call again. Oh, he's saying hold on. All right, we're going to hold up. That's the hold it hand. Anyway, they have so many fantastic things. As a matter of fact, they got some stuff coming up here for Mother's Day. I want to see what they have. Mother's Day selection. Oh, they got all sorts of candies. They have these chocolate, basically lids or macarons. French macarons. The little fluffy cookie. It's made with almond flour and egg whites. The outside's kind of it's chewy when you bite into it, but it's brittle on the outside and chewy. It's awesome. Put a little bit of a spread between the two, the top and the bottom. It's awesome. They have these heart-shaped ones. Those are kind of cool. And let's see, 70 count, 15 grams. Doesn't give you the price, huh? But they have all sorts of lace transfer sheets. So this is if you're designing a dessert and you wanna put a decorative. Like you have basically, you don't want to pan paint chocolate. You want all the desserts to look the same. Then you temper the chocolate, you line it out, and you get it all ready. And then you put the lace transfer sheet on the outside. It's Valrhona chocolate, and you peel it off. It's very cool. Very cool. Anyway, I think that you can. I'm not sure you need to be a commercial operation to order from that, but I'm sure he'll let us know in a second. I've never used Chef's Warehouse. I've heard a lot about them, but man, they have all sorts of great stuff.
Patrick, we're working on the phones. We'll get them back up as soon as we can.
I'll let them know. All right, no problem. I mean, I can talk for hours, probably about nothing. Everybody's like, I don't know how he entertains for 2 hours a day. He doesn't talk about anything, and it's not even food most of the time. Well, okay, you're right. Ooh, fruit purees. What do they got? They have. Is that? What brand? Sicily. Okay, that's an Italian brand. That's actually pretty good stuff. Man, there's this one I can't find anymore. I think it was called Better Than Gourmet. I think it was called because More Than Gourmet is this great. You can see it. You find it in stores once in a while. If you go to a Central Market here, sometimes I don't know if Whole Foods has it, but these gourmet retail stores, it's called More Than Gourmet. They have these little packets, these little cups of demi-glace. They have veal, duck, roasted chicken. It's amazing stuff. It's all really good, very clean product. Anyway, we used to buy it by the 2-gallon buckets. Finally, I had to go to 5-gallon buckets to make the red wine demi-glace that we were making in California. But there's another company called Better Than Gourmet, and they had these fruit purees that had one ingredient: fruit. Believe it or not, they sometimes had ascorbic acid or something basically it's crystallized lemon juice, right? To help keep it fresh and safe. It didn't discolor, kept the flavor, but they had these fantastic guava. They had guava. They had mango ginger. These fruit purees were the best, but they were super expensive. I want to say one portion on a plate was like 25 to 30 cents. And that's a lot for one little portion of a fruit puree on a plate to garnish a plate. That's expensive. That could be 30% of the rest of the cost of the entire rest of the dessert. I mean, that's crazy. That's a lot of money. So, perfect puree there. Oh, it's perfect puree. That's it. Perfect puree. Oh man, they're the best. Oh, what do they have? Come on. What do you have? Just the one? Just the passion fruit? Nah. Anyway, man, check it out. You can go to chefswarehouse.com. It's CHFES warehouse.com. That's not Chef Warehouse, Chef's Warehouse. Cody, when we're ready, we'll get you up and running again. Look, we've got a lot of new technology. Ron has been working on a new automation system because I'm kind of inept at running the board manually. If you paid attention at all, you've seen it. And so, yeah, I goof up. I'm human. I'm fallible. Ron, it's okay. He's got time tomorrow to call in. We debated one or both days, so it's okay.
Yeah, that whole machine went down, so I'm trying to bring it back up.
Hey, Ron, I touched something earlier. Just say, hey, dude.
No, it was not you.
It's okay. It's okay. Look, everybody thinks I'm perfect. You can just prove I'm not. You can put it out there.
I'm the guy that everybody throws under the bus. It's okay.
Dude. Oh, I don't throw you under the bus. Oh, hell no. No, Ron, I'm telling you, if it weren't for you, none of this stuff would work. I'm telling you. Literally, look at the studio. This is all smoke and mirrors. This is Hollywood. No, that's like Dell Computers over there. We're Hollywood back here. This is all bubble gum and toothpicks right here, and a lot of paint. Bubblegum line. You know what? I love food lines or just movies that have food scenes, right? When Harry Met Sally, right? That part. Okay, everybody knows the scene. Come on, it's Tom Hanks and what's her name? Meg Ryan. She's eating a dessert and fakes a big O, basically. So. Food scenes. There's not just food scenes, but lines where they use food as a euphemism or a metaphor, just part of the whole thing. There's a great line from a B science fiction movie called They Live. If you've ever seen it, there was a famous wrestler from the 80s, Roddy Piper, right? He came out in a kilt all the time. Yes, he did have his wrestling trunks underneath, thankfully, because nobody wanted to see that. But anyway, he goes into a store. He's got these special sunglasses. He can see who's alien and who's not. And he comes in. He goes, I've come to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum. Anyway, it was a funny movie. If it had a better budget, it would have been one of the classic movies of all the time as far as sci-fi. But that line will live forever. You know, good job, Roddy Piper. I don't even know if you're still alive anymore. That lifestyle can't be good for you, man. Jumping off the top of those ropes, being smacked around. You can't have good diets, and you probably drink more than a chef. I don't know how y'all live past 30. I really don't. No idea. Superfly Jimmy Snuka, that guy used to jump off of those ropes are 20 feet high. Fly across and land. It's stupid. I don't know. Nuts. Ooh, macarons. No, macarons are big for Passover. Well, those are a different type of macaroon. That's Pat Gunnier. But yeah, you're funny. You're funny. So the ones she's talking about are unleavened. These, well, you know what? Our macarons, I guess I have to look and see. Typically, so Passover rules. We'll go over some basics. As far as the leavening goes, any breads you have, Kinsey Richards, the guy to love live radio. Yeah, no crap. I'm sorry. It's fun. That's one of the things Doc and I spoke about this forever. The element of surprise, the element of the unknown in live radio makes it much more exciting. Look, I might just sit here, pick my nose for an hour, but you never know. You know, I could just talk about burritos all day, 2 hours. You never know. But what's funny is when somebody jumps through that door and you never know what's going to happen. You know, since Doc isn't here, a lot fewer people break in. Doc used to just like sit down, steal whatever food I have, jump in and take over the mic. I loved it. I did. I'm not saying it's boring now. It's different. Dynamic's different. I got to actually talk now. I can't rely on Doc to either sit in the control room or come over here and help me. I have to actually talk and sound like I know what the hell I'm talking about. But Pat, thank you. Don't let Patrick touch anything. Yeah. I'd make it a point to check the kitchen, bathroom, and staff break areas for tinfoil, cracked pipes, and cucumbers whittled into bongs. No, we don't use. It's apples. It's an apple. You core the apple and put a little hole in there and stuff it with tinfoil. You didn't know that? Yeah. All the tricks of the trade. It's stupid. Who would think of doing that? Take a good apple and waste it that way? Man, apple's my favorite fruit. Yeah, you better say cucumber. Yeah, has to be. No apples. Vin Diesel, XXX fake restaurant scene. That was pretty good, too. All right, so if you have a favorite restaurant movie scene, one of our other show hosts, Rob Carson, he's with, Sound Bites. I think his show airs at 7 p.m. He should be putting up a new show tomorrow. Oh, man, we just put up, he's had a show up for a couple of weeks now, and we put a new one up yesterday. It's hilarious. The one that launched, that's going to launch next, is going to be about the menu on the Titanic, the food of the Titanic, and a lady. Oh, hey, let me get Cody to call in real quick. Let's try this one more time. Call, please. All right, so real quick, he this lady wrote this wonderful cookbook, and he actually made one of the recipes. It's very cool, man. Rob Carson is a nut. But he's an entertaining nut, and he's got a long, storied career in radio. He's been he's actually a what do you call it? He's a comedy writer who's he's what's that called? He's syndicated, right? Really smart guy, brilliant. Does come other talk shows, but he loves food, and eventually we're going to get him here every day. Right now he's doing 2 shows a week. So check in tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern. That's called Sound Bites. man, he's awesome. But he's doing a whole show that he's recording. I think he's recording it. It might be the one he just did. No, it's the next one. The next one he's recording is about food movies or food scenes in movies. So hold on a second. All right, Cody. Cody, are you back? Can you hear me now?
I am back in full swing now. That was amazing.
All right, so hey, we got about 6.5 minutes left. I know, sorry, man. The whole machine went down over there. Sorry. I'm telling you, man. I just should not go in the control booth. I shouldn't be in there at all. No, but hey, so look, so we all have at one time or another have decided to bug out of the restaurant business. You actually, bit the bullet and did it. You were brave, ballsy, took the jump, leap of faith. So the cannabis dinners. All cool. We can do a whole show on that sometime. But hey, tell me a little more about Chef's Warehouse. Like, I know the logo, I know a little bit about the story, but I mean, what are some of the cool things they have? I know you guys have a whole room full of like exotic chocolates, don't you?
Yeah, we actually acquired a Cuisina not too far back, and so we have like 300 chocolates or some crazy amount that I'm learning all about. Of course, the nice ones, the Valronas.
Oh, I love Valrona chocolate.
Republica de Cacaos. Yeah, so all the good stuff, man.
Wait.
It's a bummer having to go and eat every day.
Did you say naked cows or cacao? I'm sorry, they're different cacaos. I'm sorry, dude. Sorry.
Same difference.
I got steak on the brain. Naked cows, man. I was getting hungry.
Right on.
Oh, that was terrible. Sorry. All right, so Valrona chocolates, man, they're awesome. Especially they're dark. They're 30%. 60% is good. It's really good. That's that bitter chocolate. That's the but it's not too bitter to eat. Semi-sweet, kind of dark. You get any drier than that as far as the chocolate, the cacao powder content versus the rest of the ingredients, and you're pushing it. It's a little on the bitter side.
It's awesome. We actually picked up one that was I just had it the other day, and it's actually made just for ice cream, and it's almost 70%, and it's made for little pellets, so that when you put in your ice cream, the fat from the ice cream and the bitter from the chocolate make this crazy explosion, man. I've never seen anything like it. It's called the P125.
Oh, I gotta write that down. P125.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it is the coolest chocolate flavoring for a frozen ever dessert on the planet.
Oh, dude, man, I'm telling you, we got to put a purchase together. We really do. I want to get some of these products in here, try them out. I got this little table. I've never done a demo. I need to hang a camera from up here and do some really cool stuff with what you guys got there. And so, I mean, the Allen Brothers meats. If you don't know Allen Brothers, go order some because, man, you're missing out. But what else you got? What other cool stuff have you seen?
Wait, the Olympia Provisions, when you get into charcuterie, I just spent time with the owner from them the other day. He's actually doing everything in I think it's between 20 and 30-day hang time for charcuterie, chorizos, all their summer sausages, and he's actually using an all-natural mold that grows outside of Oregon, and so it comes in this green casing rather than a chalk. The stuff is unbelievable, man. If you see that anywhere, you should pick it up. It comes in little bullets, but it eats almost like you would a fatback consistency for every flavor.
Okay, I actually ate before the show today, and I'm starving now. Between the naked cows and the fatback, dude, woo! Throw a little chocolate and vanilla ice cream on there. Yeah, that's like that's a well-rounded meal right there. Oh, I just need a toothpick for the end and get that little. You seen it? But so the charcuterie are one of my favorite things. I don't care about the debate about cured, uncured, blah blah blah. Look. Everything in moderation as frequently as possible. I'm telling you, man, that's my motto. Just don't overdo it. Even the chocolate. One thing with chocolate I've noticed, if I eat too much, I tend to get a headache. If I have to eat a lot of it, but because I'm a compulsive eater. When I eat one thing, I haven't had it in a long time. I crave it. I eat it till I'm sick, and I don't eat it for like 2 years again. It's the weirdest thing.
Chocolate, huh? I'm not like that, man. I could mainline chocolate, and I'd be all right.
Well, you're a skinny guy. You used to be a fat guy. Right, but you're rebranding the Reckless podcast to be.
We are fat, drunk, and happy. I think everybody, if you're living that way and you can walk away with a smile, you are doing it right, my friend.
I think you need to change it from fat. Put the no on there, little no symbol, and next you put full drunk and happy. There you go. Because man, you
drunk and happy,
dude. You lost like 2/3 of you lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, man, I went from 350 to a mild, 135 at one point. Now I'm evening out at about 180, which is a normal. At 135, I kind of it was a little too much, man. A
little anemic.
Figure out if your girlfriend's Jimmy's. Yeah, man, I look like I was on a bad time of timing,
Yeah, when your girlfriend's 5'1" and you have to play Little Spoon, that's a problem, dude.
That is a huge problem.
When it's time to leave the bar and she just puts she puts one arm around your waist and just lifts you up and hoists you out. Yeah,
that's a bad deal.
What's that line? You're like, I could never date a guy whose ass is smaller than mine, something like that. So, all right, what's the absolute coolest product? Is it the chocolate? There's got to be one thing that you've seen that just blew your mind, and you're like, I've never seen anything like this at all.
Valrhona is doing an infusion series of chocolates right now in the Fevs that has a strawberry and passion fruit, and they're doing a few others, but actually they're taking the fruit and fermenting it onto the cacao beans and then making a chocolate out of that with the cocoa butter. So it comes up this bright strawberry and strawberry flavor. They have almond that tastes like a fresh almond, not like a roasted. And I've never had anything like it. So the chocolate itself embodies this fermented fruit flavor. It's crazy, man. It's
so
the infusion series.
That's cool stuff. All right, look, we'll put up. We'll keep promoting them and show them some. I'll order some product. We'll do some fun stuff. But hey, real quick, we got about a minute left.
Perfect.
You've been looking like you and I are both into the look. I'm a proponent of the healthful properties of medical marijuana, but even more so CBDs from hemp. Right, non-psychotropic. It is psychoactive because it to some extent suppresses the central nervous system, or relaxes anyway. But the FDA now, they're saying that it's not legal to put it in any kind of consumable food product. As far as the CBDs are concerned, yeah, you can buy CBD as a supplement by itself, right? You can buy it in a suspended in oil with vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin A, whatever you want in it, but you can't have it now in a food product. They started shutting down confiscating. It wasn't confiscated. It was it was contraband is what they considered it. They were going to New York bagel shops and bakeries, and they're like wrapping this stuff up in plastic. They didn't even take it off the scene. They just wrapped it up, threw it back in the walk, and said, "Can't use it." Nope, too bad. Sorry. They're doing it all over the place. I'm telling you, it's benign. Your body makes this.
I believe so. I don't understand why anybody would want to tell us what to do. The only thing I think that they are trying to do, which is probably a failed effort, is keep it out of the hands of people that didn't want to get in on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But they're in the shops. I mean, if you're going to those shops and you're doing your own thing, you'll be able to do whatever you want.
I agree. Yeah. Look, on a commercial scale, I think there got to be some sort of licensing control. Hey, Cody Storts, I'm sorry it was a short call. If you can jump back in tomorrow, or we'll get you on next week, brother. We got a lot to talk about. All right, man.
Absolutely. We'll talk again soon, sir.
Have a good week, man. Thank you. All right, folks. Wow. 2 hours of nothing. Love y'all. Come back tomorrow. Eat what you want, just not too much.